Hello and welcome to this episode of Demystified as we explore home cooking in a modern world. Hello, this is Linda and I'm here with Paul. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Linda. Many metres away.
Oh yes, at least 1.5. And this is our From the Kitchen Friday wrap-up. It's been a very unusual week, Paul.
Very unusual. Very unusual. It's a bit hard to fathom, but yeah, it's like, to report what's happening in our kitchen, not a great deal other than a lot of typing and trying to get a few messages out there other than actually actively doing some cooking. I've been getting a few messages trickling through about what people can do, especially coming up to the weekend. So, as we've all been instructed, stay home. So, if we can repeat that message, stay home. You don't need to go out.
Stay home, stay safe, stay well.
Do all that.
Stay sane.
Yeah, stay sane. So, a couple of little things that I was thinking about that people could do, and we've sort of talked about this previously, is like a weekend's a good time to do your pickles and your jams and your relishes and stuff. So, maybe crack on with them. And the other one is someone, because we don't know how long this is going to go for. So someone sort of said to me, I need a bit of a project. So I figure a really good project, although it's not super time consuming, but it's a good project, is do your sourdough culture. So get that up and running by yourself, because you're going to be at home and they need care and attention like a pet.
Or a child.
So,
or a husband.
And do it with your kids. Like, why not? Because once this thing activates, you can actually see it growing on your benchtop and stuff like that. So, without plugging too much, there is a full tutorial on our website, cookingwithsteam.com. So you can watch the video and see how it works and what happens. But now's a perfect time. And all you need is flour and water. So you don't need to go out and buy ingredients. So just use what you've got at home, stay at home. But yeah, if you're looking for a couple of little projects over the weekend, pickling, relishes, jams, anything where you can, without using the word stockpile, but anything where you can, add some time to the ingredients that you've got. So give them a bit of length by doing pickles with your shallots and your whatever, like chilies, anything you like. Start a sourdough culture and do some baking and stuff. Like, oh no, that's my phone this time.
I just wish it would have rung. That would have been just ideal.
But yeah, so our kitchen though, not a great deal. We're just sort of getting those messages out, but we have had a bit of a redesign. So when we do some new tutorials and stuff, it'll look a bit different. And that was an interesting process. But yeah, other than that, not a huge amount really.
Well, I've got a question for you.
Oh, no.
I know, without notice too. One of the podcasts we've talked about how to repurpose some of the food and make sure that you make some stock out of the carcass of chicken. So I did that. I pinched out the wishbone, which I was really pleased that I could do that. So that was good. And
how did you learn how to do that, Linda?
I watched a video, Paul. It was just wonderful. The dude was a bit, but no, it was really good. So thank you. And then after we peeled off all the meat after we'd had dinner, and I made some stock. So I kept one in the fridge and we froze into some different containers for later for risotto or whatever. So I got home last night and I thought, right, I'm going to make a little veggie soup, a little chicken sort of soup. And so we put in some vegetables, put it on the stove, put in a little bit of salt and pepper.
Yeah.
And it was as bland as all get up. It was what I would call, a healthy soup that you have when you feel crap and you need to get some food into you.
Yeah.
It tasted like nothing.
Okay.
And I did put like a tiny drop of soy sauce in just to give it some little salt, because I thought, it makes it a little bit darker. It's quite yellow, the stock, but I thought, okay, this is a great question for today. How to just put a little bit of oomph in there if you're just working with a mild
roasted chicken carcass. Let's go back a step. Okay, so you've roasted your chicken.
Yep.
Yep. And you've taken all the meat off and you're left with the carcass.
Yes.
Okay, and at that point, you've put it into a pot of water. Now, one mistake which you did make, was tell me that you consistently topped up the water.
Only a little bit. Only once.
But
okay, only once.
Every time you do that, you dilute the flavour.
Okay.
Okay, so what you can do if you want something with a real bit of punch in it is with your chicken carcass, even if it's the next day. So you picked all the meat off, you cut that separate, tick.
Yes.
With your chicken carcass, put a bit of oil on it and roast it again.
Ooh.
Until the entire carcass goes golden brown, like really roasted. And then take that and do the same method, put it into a pot of water, bring it up to the boil, let it simmer for a few hours, and by adding colour, what do you get?
Flavour.
Yes. So, although it's another step in the process, you'll probably get a little bit more punchy flavour into your chicken stock by doing that. It's not going to season it for you, okay? So seasoning is the thing, but also if you're worried about how long your bones are in there for, remember you can, after about 2 hours, you're not going to get anything more out of it. So you can certainly remove the bones or strain the stock off and then reduce the stock down by itself, and it will enhance in flavour. The more you reduce it, the more flavour will come out of it. So you're probably dealing with something that's a little bit watery by the sound of it. I think it's because you haven't maybe seasoned it enough. The vegetables that you put in your little chicken soup, did you just put them straight in the stock?
Yeah.
So what gives vegetables flavour?
Cooking first.
Colour.
Colour.
Yeah. So
No,
why wouldn't you
didn't do
saute your vegetables? I know you don't eat mushrooms, but mushrooms, capsicums, anything like that, give them like a stir fry first. And at that stage, when you put some soy sauce in there, and then add that to the stock.
Okay.
And then your noodles and
We
stuff.
can try that as well.
Yeah.
So we just had the standard sort of Dougie faves.
Yeah.
Broccoli, cauliflower, beans, carrots.
Yep.
And just put a few of those in. And
But those for a brief amount of time in what is already what I would call a mellow stock, so it's not really a punchy flavoured stock, you're not really going to get much out of it other than just cooking the vegetables. You're effectively having blanched vegetables which have been blanched in a chicken stock type thing-ish.
Which was already bland.
Yeah, which is already a bit bland. So I don't think you should season your stocks when you make them. I think you should season them when you use them. So when you're making your stock, you've got the bones in the water and it's bubbling away. Don't season them then.
No, I
I think when you do what you've done, take a portion of it out, put it in a pot, that's when you season it.
Okay.
And the soy sauce isn't a bad one. The other one to use is vinegar too. Remember, vinegar enhances flavour.
Red?
Yeah, either. Whatever you got. Like at the moment, whatever you got.
Okay.
But vinegar also, or lemon juice. Acid enhances flavour. Now, if you're dealing with a stock that hasn't got much there to start with, you're not going to get much out of it. But if you get a bit more punchy flavour into your stock, a little bit of acid will help.
Well, I think we do need to... I need to make a note of putting it in the fridge, covering it up, because I did separate the meat before we did the dishes, but I just wanted to get the stock going because it was already late before I put the stock on.
But you could have done it the next day.
Yeah, I just didn't think about that. I thought, we should use it while it's over here. Okay. Well, thank you.
Because remember, the inside of the carcass itself hasn't been roasted. It's just effectively white meat.
Yes, but
So if you roast that and get it really golden brown, then you're going to end up with something better. Anyway.
Well, thank you for that. So not much from the kitchen, but maybe a little bit from our kitchen.
But hopefully next week we'll have something, depending on if we're
if we're in lockdown, there'll be a very different situation again. So everybody, thanks for listening.
Stay at home.
Stay well. Stay sane.
Stay at home. Stay at home.
Stay at home.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this podcast as we explore home cooking in a modern world. We'd love you to subscribe, and for more information, please go to our website, cookingwithsteam.com.